back, and the wound was healing slower than Noose's wounds had, but Marshal Bess didn't let it slow her down. She was the law in the town of Jackson now, whether she liked it or not. The 7-star badge on her small chest glinted in the morning sun. Her chin was firmly set and her composure determined as she limped across the stable behind the U.S. Marshal's office up to Noose, and the outlaw standing alongside their horses, getting ready to embark on their fateful journey. Bess nodded to Noose, then turned her gaze to Bonny Kate, choosing her words and tersely delivering them. "It ain't for me to judge you, Miss Valence. It's for the Lord to do that, but let me tell you one thing, and you listen so you hear it good. Nothing better happened to my friend, or else." Bonny Kate smiled darkly. "Don't threaten me with a good time." There was haughtiness in the condemned outlaw's posture, with her large bosom stuck brazenly outward in her denim shirt, and her shapely blue-jeaned hips cocked in a defiant pose above her black rattlesnake-skin cowboy boots. Her demeanor displayed neither respect nor regard. Everything about the doomed Bonny Kate Valence seemed to whistle past the graveyard. Bess leaned in nose to nose with Bonny Kate, and spoke in the kind of low, quiet way that got people's attention. "I don't make threats, I make promises, Miss Valence. And I promise if Joe Noose don't come back from your hanging in one piece, I'll dig you up and kill you again. That's a promise I'll keep." The female outlaw stared at the marshal in disbelief, shook her head in resignation, and chuckled. "The ideas folks have about me. None of them true, I swear." The outlaw sighed ruefully and shrugged her soft and delicate shoulders. "But folks best believe what they best believe, and being as they all think me to be the Antichrist in petticoats, there's no telling any of 'em otherwise, so off I go to be." Bonny Kate made a pulling gesture by her neck with her closed fist, cocked her head sideways, crossed her eyes, and stuck her tongue in her cheek, making a popping sound with her lips in a grotesque imitation of hanging. Then she rearranged her face back to normal again, and wore a perplexed, confounded expression that was almost comical. "Now here's the part I don't get. My mama always told me to wear clean drawers, and my whole life that has been just what this girl has done, only to end up hanged as an adult and soil myself like an infant. You know, that's—" "Shut up, Bonny Kate. Get your posterior on that horse. You got a date with the hangman, and we don't want to keep him waiting." Marshal Bess turned her tight, worried gaze to Joe Noose, who stood calm and patient beside Copper, brushing the horse's golden withers with his big, rough hand. The two friends made eye contact, and in their shared gaze was an unspoken shorthand born of friendship. The conversation was had in simple glances. A nod from Noose telling Bess he was going to be all right. A returned nod, and then a second one from Bess told him to be careful. A grin and friendly touch of his finger to the tip of his Stetson from Noose told Bess to stop being foolish and quit her worrying. Joe Noose never had to say a word, and with one easy, powerful sweep of his leg he swung into the saddle of his bronze horse and was mounted up. This time Bess smiled back. She rounded on Bonny Kate Valence and swept up the barrel of her Winchester, now a loaded weapon, not a crutch, aimed right at the convicted woman's narrow gut below her ample bosom. Again, Bess didn't need to speak. A quick levering of the repeater and couple of up-and-down motions of the rifle barrel communicated the message perfectly well, and Bonny Kate took the meaning clearly. With her relative freedom of mobility in her handcuffs, the woman outlaw grabbed the saddle pommel of her tough old lone chestnut quarter-horse and slung a boot into a stirrup. After a few unladylike grunts and ungraceful clambering of her shapely legs, she struggled into the saddle and sat the horse. "Let's ride," said Noose. A nudge of his lantern jaw indicated the towering gorge of the Teton Pass to the west, just a few miles south from the spectacular snow-capped peaks of the Grand Teton mountain range rearing majestically against the brightening morning sky to their right. "Farewell, Bonny Kate Valence," Bess said. Bonny Kate ignored Bess, and with a toss of her fiery red mane of hair skillfully spurred her horse and headed off at a trot west across the field. "See you soon, Bess," Noose said to the fretting female lawman below him, cradling her rifle and watching up at him with worried eyes. "You do that," she said. Noose reined Copper around and patted its muscular flanks.